What is up, everybody? Ninja Nick here with Tactical Gaming, bringing you guys a video on Jeffrey Epstein. Been 4 years, and not much has been done with the many upper echelon people whose names we all know. Well, good portion, especially the current people who are in high sections of government, like Joe Biden, the CIA director, and a few others. But here we go.
Thing the medical and political bureaucracy deemed to be vax misinformation. Okay, you know what happened. You instantly became a pariah. I did, right? So you didn't get the shot. Well, sometimes that got you fired. But if you cavorted with a known sex criminal like Jeffrey Epstein, well, you can still go on to do great things. A shocking expose in the Wall Street Journal revealed the names of some very prominent figures on Epstein's private calendar.
And funny thing is, nothing's happened to those people.
His first prison stint. First up, the current CIA director, William Burns. He had 3 meetings scheduled with Epstein in 2014 when he was Deputy Secretary of State. Burns even visited Epstein's townhouse in New York City. Then there's Carolyn Rumler, who is the former White House counsel for Obama. She had dozens of meetings with Epstein after she left the administration. Now, Epstein also planned for Rumler to be on a 2015 trip to Paris and a 2017 visit to his private island in the Caribbean.
And we all know what happened on his island.
Editor-in-chief of the Federalist, Fox News contributor. Now, Molly, if you knew somebody who walked through the Capitol, just, not doing anything, just walked through the Capitol on January 6th because you thought it was open, you probably could never, ever consort with that person again and not be dragged through the mud. But apparently there's an exception here for Jeffrey Epstein.
It's because they're rich.
What's so amazing, not just
and they have other rich people in their pocket,
but how long it has taken for this information to get out. This man, there's so much confusion people have in America. How was this man, Jeffrey Epstein, allowed to do what he was doing? How did he make his money? How did he keep his money? Why did he have so many high-profile friends? Why were they so powerful? Why was he protected? And we're getting little snippets of information, and the information is absolutely explosive, like you say. Catherine Rumler, known as Obama's fixer, top Goldman Sachs lawyer, having dozens of meetings with this person. The current CIA head, and the CIA comes out and says, oh, he was just asking for information about the financial services sector. That's
when literally they connected Trump to Epstein just because Trump basically told Epstein to go F himself, right? Because Trump had a good feeling about that man. They went after Trump. But yet, not a single person who you've seen on here, they haven't really gone after, haven't done. Not sure if they've done investigations, but still, these people are walking around as if nothing happened. Coincidence, or is that just pure hypocrisy? I would call it hypocrisy.
Very implausible, and Americans have every right to know what is going on here, and they're just not getting the information that they need.
Well, Molly, remember a lot of people had a pretty good sense about who Harvey Weinstein really was and what he was up to. And again, he was a mover and shaker in politics, so they let that all slide. And it happened
New York State Sex Offender Registry.
Now, many of the people on that calendar, told the Journal that the meetings were, for reasons related to his money. And
Epstein's private calendar reveals prominent names, including CIA chief, Goldman's top lawyer. Most of those people told the Journal they visited Epstein for reasons related to his wealth and connections. Several said they thought he had served his time and had rehabilitated himself. He's still a registered sex offender. Kidding me? But hey, rich people, right?
People said, look, we thought he rehabilitated himself. And look, Molly, the benefit of the doubt, I understand that, and I get that. But the private life, though, was it very private?
No.
And not just that, we clearly do have these two standards of justice, like you're saying. If you are within a mile of the Capitol and you're a grandmother, you're going to be spending time in prison. If you are...
Basically, if you are a normal person, an average everyday taxpayer, not someone who's, a movie star or a musician or, someone who has lots of money, you are screwed by the system. But if you are Epstein or anyone else, you're perfectly fine. You can do whatever you want to whoever you want and nothing happens. Well, the thing is, if this system doesn't get fixed, they don't understand that there's more people in this country than them. And, they would have to leave this country and never come back, which would be a good idea for any of you who continuously want to break the law and do whatever you want because you have money, which goes for Biden, his family, Clinton and their family, and everyone else in this country in government and or otherwise who think because they have money that they cannot be thrown in prison at all. Well, I think the people like of this great country need to come together, stand and say we've had enough. And that's either, you know what, do it with your pocketbook, such as we are no longer going to go to work for one day. Like I've said this in a couple videos, literally boycott the government for one whole day. Literally go on social media and say, boom, we're like don't go to work from this day to this day or whatever, because those kind of things helped, and those things will do stuff. Look what happened with Bud Light after the whole Dylan Mulvaney bullshit, right? Um, I can remember back in the day when companies wouldn't actually give a lot of their workers like good pay, like good pay, and they would have to go on strike and refuse to go to work. Well, that's what's going to have to happen. And this isn't, we're striking the companies, which partially are part of the problem because these companies like Walmart, Kroger, Target, like Walgreens, and a few others are the ones who lined the pockets of people like Epstein and Biden and Obama and lots of other Democrats. So we're in this shit because of them. So I highly suggest that, we sit there, we talk to our news crews, we talk to people and say, hey, you know what? Just don't go to work for a day, like at all, right? And or make it to where there's one day where everyone is writing and calling their constituents and saying, hey, we don't want this. We need to call our representatives and say, hey, we don't want this. You know what I mean? Like, our lawmakers need to get together and say, this needs to get fixed now because the people demand it. You know what I mean? Because this kind of stuff is getting ridiculous.
The CIA director in your meeting with Epstein, the media don't even ask questions.
Right?
And at the very least, you might expect some really big, deeper dives than 5 years after his mysterious death, finding out this type of thing. There hasn't been that type of pressure or hysteria that you associate with the media interest in other situations.
You bet. If it was a Republican and anything like
Yep.
this, it would have been crazy. Beating down the doors. Molly, thank you.
Yeah, they tried to do that to Trump.
Hey,
They legit tried to do that to Trump. Like, legit. They're like, oh, hey, look, here's a picture of Trump and Epstein. Just because they were, like, going to a Met Gala or some kind of upper echelon event, and they were there together, or at the same time. So, that's kind of just ridiculous. But that's it for this one. Got many more coming, so keep an eye out. Like, share, subscribe. Spread the word. Like, we need to get the people of this country awake. Like, I mean, like, they need to open their eyes, open their ears, open their brain, and go, oh, look what's going on. And they need to use their voices. They can't just sit there quietly anymore. They need to do something. So, hopefully, y'all enjoyed it. Catch you from the next one. Later.